The note at checkout. The paper was small, torn from a receipt roll, creased, damp at the edges. The cashier slid it into my palm without looking at me, her face neutral as if she'd done nothing at all. My wife was 3 feet away, bagging groceries, humming softly like she always did when she wanted me to think everything was fine. The note said only one thing: "You're in serious danger. Don't trust her." I folded it once, then again, slipping it into my pocket before she turned her head. My pulse didn't quicken, my expression didn't change. But something inside me shifted, like a pane of glass cracking in silence, waiting to shatter. I told my wife I'd forgotten something, gesturing toward the deli. She smiled at me, that well-rehearsed curve of lips I once believed. But I didn't go to the deli. I walked past the counter, past the sliding doors, and out into the parking lot. My reflection stared back at me in the glass, calm, steady, unreadable. I never got back in the car with her. I went straight to the police. The officer who met me in that sterile, fluorescent room didn't smile. He glanced at the note, then at me. His eyes carried weight, as if he already knew what it meant. "She's not who you think," he said quietly. At first, I wanted to laugh. Not who I think? I'd been married to her for 8 years, slept beside her, trusted her, let her into places of myself I swore no one else would ever see. But then the images started dripping in. Small details I had ignored. The way she sometimes locked her phone when I entered the room. The sudden, late shifts. The vague explanations that dissolved when questioned too closely. I told myself it was nothing, that I was tired, that I was imagining things. But the note burned in my pocket, and the officer's silence, more than his words, told me the truth had already been circling, waiting for me to finally notice. Betrayal doesn't scream. It whispers. It seeps. It waits until you're certain of safety, then tears it out from under you. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I played the role. Husband, confidant, companion. My face a mask, my voice steady. But inside, I was cataloging, calculating. Her phone lay on the nightstand one evening, charging. I memorized the pattern of her password from the reflection in her glasses. Another night, I noted the names she avoided saying aloud when texts buzzed after midnight. I began building my own case, piece by piece. A receipt from a hotel hidden in her purse. Phone records that didn't align with where she said she was. Bank withdrawals she couldn't account for. Each detail was another nail driven into the coffin of the life I thought we had. I ordered a DNA test for our son. Quietly, carefully. When the envelope arrived, I didn't rip it open. I placed it in a drawer, waiting for the right moment, the right silence to break me. And every night, lying beside her, I felt the weight of the truth pressing against my ribs, growing heavier with every breath. The test results came back on a Tuesday morning. I opened the envelope at the kitchen table, the sun spilling through the blinds in fractured lines. My hands didn't tremble. My heart didn't race. I simply read the words. Probability of paternity, 0. 0. The world narrowed into focus. She came into the kitchen, hair damp from a shower, humming the same soft tune she always did. She smiled when she saw me holding the papers. "What's that?" she asked. I placed them on the table, pushing them toward her with a steady hand. She read them. Her face drained. Her breath caught. The humming stopped. She looked up at me, eyes wide, words stuck in her throat. I said nothing. Silence was heavier than any accusation. That night I packed a single bag. I didn't shout, I didn't ask why. She begged, her voice cracking, tears streaking her face. She reached for me, clinging, desperate. I stepped back. "You knew," I said finally, my voice low, detached. "Every night you laid beside me. You knew. She sobbed harder. Promises, apologies, frantic explanations, all spilling out like broken glass. I let her choke on them. On the counter, I left the papers, the receipt, the hotel records, the truth laid bare, assembled neatly like evidence in a trial. No arguments, no forgiveness. Just the truth, staring her down with no room to hide. And as she collapsed against the floor, clutching the papers as if they might burn her hands, I walked out the door. Not fast, not slow, just steady. The sound of her crying followed me into the night, fading with every step. Now I sit alone in a quiet apartment. The walls are bare. The silence is complete. There is no grief, no longing, only clarity. The betrayal is no longer a weight. It's a mirror. It showed me who she truly was, and more importantly, who I became in the face of it. Cold, deliberate, unbreakable. I never returned her calls, never answered her letters. The papers remain in her hands, a sentence with no appeal. I lost a wife, I lost a son, but I gained the truth. And truth, once seen, cannot be unseen. It becomes armor, it becomes fire, it becomes freedom. The last thing she'll remember of me is the silence, colder than any goodbye.